cover-up to protect sexual. So Pam Bondi's entire world is collapsing right now, and I'm not exaggerating. A bombshell internal leak from the Justice Department has exposed her lies about the Epstein files. She just got absolutely destroyed in a congressional hearing where she was accused of running a massive cover-up to protect sexual predators, and now members of Congress are openly calling for her resignation. Not just investigating her, not just criticizing her, actually demanding that she step down as Attorney General. And here's the most insane part. Evidence came out that she's been spying on members of Congress, tracking what they search for in DOJ databases, monitoring which Epstein files they look at. This is surveillance of lawmakers by the Attorney General, and it's blowing up her credibility and potentially ending her career. This is absolutely devastating. So here's what happened. On February 11th, just a few days ago, Pam Bondi testified before the House Judiciary Committee about the Epstein files. And this wasn't just any hearing. There were survivors in the room, women who Jeffrey Epstein abused, sitting right there, watching Bondi testify, and Democrats tore into her. Absolutely tore into her. Congressman Jamie Raskin looked her in the eye and said, quote, "You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice." He accused her of siding with perpetrators and ignoring the victims, and the evidence backs him up. Because here's what happened with the Epstein files. Congress passed a law, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and this law required the Justice Department to release 6 million documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. 6 million. Flight logs, black books, witness statements, everything. And the law said these documents had to be released with only minimal redactions to protect ongoing investigations or genuine privacy concerns. The whole point was transparency. The whole point was to expose everyone who was involved with Epstein's trafficking ring, no matter how powerful they are. But Bondi's DOJ, they only released about 3 million documents, half of what the law required, and the documents they did release, they exposed victims' names and personal information while protecting the names of powerful co-conspirators, people like billionaire Les Wexner, who had deep financial ties to Epstein. His name was initially blacked out or withheld entirely, but victims, their full names, their addresses in some cases, their private details, all exposed. It's backwards, it's cruel, and it's exactly the opposite of what the law required. And Bondi sat in that hearing and tried to defend this, tried to claim that the redactions were only to protect victims, tried to say that the DOJ was following the law, but then internal documents leaked, DOJ memos showing that Bondi's own staff warned her that they were violating the statute, that they were protecting the wrong people, that victims were being exposed while perpetrators were being shielded, and Bondi ignored those warnings. She went ahead with the flawed release anyway, and now those leaked memos are everywhere, and they prove she lied to Congress under oath. And then there's the surveillance scandal, because during the hearing, Bondi showed up with a binder, and this binder was labeled, and I'm not making this up, Jayapal Pramila, Search History, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and inside this binder, a list of every Epstein file document that Jayapal had searched for in the DOJ database. Every query she ran, every file she accessed, the Justice Department had been tracking her, monitoring her, surveilling a sitting member of Congress. And when this came out, when CNBC obtained images of that binder, Jayapal went ballistic. She said this is entirely inappropriate. She said the DOJ has no business monitoring what members of Congress are searching for in databases. She accused Bondi of weaponizing the Justice Department against Congress itself. And she's right, because this is a massive violation of separation of powers. The executive branch spying on the legislative branch. That's authoritarian. That's the kind of thing you see in dictatorships, not in democracies. And now, members of Congress are calling for Bondi to resign. Congressman Ted Lieu went on record this week saying Bondi should step down. He accused her of lying under oath about following Trump's directives on prosecuting his enemies, about lying about the completeness of the Epstein release, and he warned that Congress may pursue perjury and obstruction referrals. Okay, so Pam Bondi's entire world is collapsing.